I beg. I beg you.
You know, we
I
used to
beg you.
have.
I beg
It's
you.
still in existence. Voice of America.
Yes, that one. Trump says. Trump says that,
VOA.
he's taking the voice.
No,
Yeah, the voice. He's
their
taking the
license,
oxygen from the voice.
their license is expired
Charlie,
under Trump, so they should go.
Charlie.
They should hide. They should hide.
Nowhere cool, oh.
Charlie,
Nowhere cool.
nowhere cool. As for that one.
Anyways,
Nowhere
I mean,
cool.
in one of the papers this morning, we read that 30th is the D-Day for Ernest Yakumi.
Yes. The Supreme Court has fixed April, right?
April, yeah,
April
from
30th.
March, April, yeah.
Yes. In fact, yesterday the Supreme Court was, like you mentioned, it was more like a marathon sitting for more than an hour. One lawyer is on his feet.
Yeah.
The next an hour and over, another lawyer on his feet, and all of that. In all the three parties who appeared before the Supreme Court yesterday, it was only the EC whose lawyer did not speak for long.
Okay.
Ernest Yaokumi was led by Gary Nimakun. In fact, there were two separate applications that he filed. In fact, three of them. One was adjourned indefinitely, but the two that were considered. The first one is in relation to he was challenging the interim injunction that was placed on him, restricting him from being sworn in as a member of parliament. You notice that the court order gave a 10-day interim injunction.
Yes.
The first application was seeking a reversal of that particular one. That was so that it will make his swearing in intact. And so the lawyers made, in fact, that one, they only have to rely on their processes that they filed and all of that. And so the courts, the 5-member panel, presided over by Justice Gabriel Palman, adjourned. That was the very first case that was adjourned to April 30. Now, where the meat was proper is the issue of the contempt.
Yes.
That
the
one.
Killer Bagbola show.
The Killer Bagbola show. The Bloma will kill the killer.
The killer.
You see that in those days when you are fighting and you realize that, it's always the killer who is always in the lead. But I realize Bloma. So yesterday, that leg of the case, as it were, took long argument from all the parties. Gary Nimakon was the one, so he gave chronological events or how the event unfolded, how they managed to get to the court, ask the court at every stage with their own processes to have the court step aside. In fact, one point is that the day that the court was about to deliver its ruling on the contempt, they went to the court, notified the court that they have filed processes to arrest the decision of the court, but the court ignored it. It made references to processes that they filed at the Supreme Court just so to automatically to put proceedings at the High Court to a hold. All of that did not surface or materialize. So they gave that background chronological event, and in effect, what they said was the effect that the High Court did not give Ernest Yaokumi the opportunity to be heard. So the rule of natural justice was breached over there. And so largely that was the argument. The issue of the Gazette came to the fore, and their position was that at the time that the NDC party or the candidate was making the hold, there was no Gazette, which is one of the primary document that the court ought to look at in situations like that. But the lawyer for the interested party, the NDC, Bernard Bedia Kombedi, also came in strongly and said, look, whatever they are saying is not true. The first point that the court ought to ask itself is that on what basis were they in court to arrest the ruling of the court if they were not served with the processes? It means they were aware, they were served with all processes from day one. He also gave chronological events of things that happened, how they came in, how the other party also responded. And then the issue of the Gazette was also very key. In fact, yesterday, it was the issue that took the center of the whole conversation. While the NDC side contended that they received, there was a Gazette notification to the court, and that the Gazette was done on December 24. The NPP side also brought a Gazette notification where they say that was gazetted on January 6th. So now we have two gazettes, one from the NDC side saying that it was published at Assembly Press on December 24. So at the time that they were in court, there was a gazette. NPP also came with one January 6th, saying that at the time that the NDC side went to court, there was no gazette, and so there was no way, that was not the proper way. So now the EC is the referee at the center. EC, what gazette do you have? And the NDC's lawyer's submission was to the effect that if you look at the gazette that they brought,
Yes.
they took their gazette that they had December 24 and took that of the MPP side, which was they said was gazetted in January 6th, and wrote and attached both to Assembly Press for Assembly Press to confirm which of the two was the proper gazette. And the gazette that they had from Assembly Press, the response, in fact, it was read by Justice Professor Henry Tamen-Sambo. So the response from that was that the one that they, as an Assembly Press, know exists, and the one that they can talk to about is the one that the NDC side had, which was gazetted in December 24.
So the one that was gazetted on the 6th of January?
So you hold on. So that's where the issues are.
Right.
And so they brought a full copy of the gazette. You know, if you have ever done a gazette before, I love that. It doesn't include only one case. It's a whole book on its own. It has a lot of information, different people, and all of that. I remember when I did one in relation to correcting some of the issues with my name. And everywhere I have to go, I have to carry that gazette with me. Even if I make a copy, I have to carry the original with me. And it has so many pages. They had brought the full document, the original one, to the court. This is the original one within which we extracted this, which is on there. But the other party, the MPP side, came out with the extracts. The original one has not been attached. And what is so interesting is that if you look at the serial numbers of what the NDC side had, resonate with the one that the EC
is
also brought. So the numbers, the serial numbers 1, 2, 3, 4, it was the same 2, 3, 4 on the that of the EC. But the one from the MPP side only has the serial number 3. 3, so that's the difference. The same information on the same gazette.
The only difference is
that this one 2, 3, 4, EC 2, 3, 4, but that of the MPP is number 3. So they were wondering, even where did they get theirs from? They should give us the original copies where they extracted this one from.
Right.
And the court is saying that, okay, we have listened to both parties, both the NDC side and the MPP side about the gazette. EC, tell us, you have the opportunity to settle this particular case. So between the two gazettes, which one is authentic? To the EC lawyer, Justin Amenuvo, was not giving a straightforward answer.
Okay.
His answer to the court was that the court all the courts are court of records. So all that he's telling the court is that the court should look at the record at the high court before the decision was taken and make their own determination. He's not in the position to tell the court that Gazette A or Gazette B is the authentic one. The court on its own. And I remember one of the judges said that, Counsel, you've not held the court at all. You leave it for us. We'll take our own decision. So the matter has been adjourned also to April 30, and the court will put finality to both the one challenging the interim injunction and the one about the contempt proceedings and all of that. But on the issue of gazettes, Bernard Bediakun Bedu, the counsel for the NDC, or Henry Boache Iado, the interested party, has been speaking to me yesterday after the court sit.
This is instructive. In fact, that is their case, that it happened without a gazette notification. Per what is before the Supreme Court, was there a gazette notification or not? There was. They haven't said that what we exhibited is wrong, or what is improper, or is fake. They haven't said that. And so if there is record to show, even if it is today, that the court has come to know that indeed it had been gazetted on the 24th, that ends the matter. Because they are saying that as at 31st we filed the petition, the Electoral Commission had not gazetted the results. If we have record, even today, because jurisdiction could be raised at any time, and so if they are raising it and it turned out that indeed we had the notification done on the 24th, I think that ends the matter.
As to whether that really ends the matter.
Absolutely. On the 30th of April,
we'll get to
know in relation to this particular one in the course of time. But that's not. Lawyer for the applicant, Gary Nimakumafo, also had this to say about the same gazette after the court sitting yesterday.
Oh, let's wait for the court to determine it. If indeed there was gazette, why did they ask the court to prohibit gazetting? That's not the question. This was the gazetting. Why did they say the court should prohibit gazetting?
Okay.
As at 2nd of January 2025. So please, let's wait.
So it looks like we'll have to do a lot of waiting
Oh, yes.
for the 30th of April.
We all have to wait until the 30th of April
Interesting.
to be able to see what the decision of the Apex Court panel of 5, presided over by Justice Gabriel Pwamang, which also include Justice Professor Henrietta Mensah-Bonsu, Justice Ernest Gawu, Justice Henry Anthony Kofi, and Justice Richard J. Frimpong. So these are the 3 justices, 4 men and then a lady.
Right.
Will make that determination in relation to what NSC Alchemy had before the court, whether there's merit or no merit. So 30th of April.
It's not far from now.
No, it's
We'll
not
just
far
wait.
from
It's
now.
just a
Today-
little over a month.
Yes,
We'll
a little over a
wait.
month. Today is 27.
Yeah, so 1 month, 3 days.
Yeah, absolutely.
We'll wait and see. But talk to me about the disputed seats saga.
Yes,
Supreme Court, a lot happening there.
Yes, so this case, we do know, January 7th, after the election, there's been so much controversy. A lot of things are happening, left, right, center, and all of that.
One constituency has 2 MPs now. Because when you get to the constituency, the MPP candidate has put up a billboard saying, "Thank you for electing me as MP." The NDC candidate has also put up a billboard saying, "Thank you for electing me as MP for this good
I
constituency."
know that's democracy.
Oh,
That's
Charlie.
how interesting our democracy is. So when you go to MPs, baby, well, in democracy, some of these things are expected to happen.
Yes.
So when you see those billboards, it's quite funny. And you know what is even more interesting? These billboards are facing each other.
So the NDC MPs look at the MPP,
absolutely.
and they are both saying, "Thank you for voting
Thank
for
you.
us."
We are saying thank you to each other.
Charlie,
So
it's
for giving me a
interesting,
very
yes.
good fight.
It's just
But of course,
something.
that case is still before the NDC side is challenging rulings made by the court. For those who
Yes.
remember, December 1st January, we didn't have a rest because of these cases. And so Mandamus application from the NPP side asking the court to compel the Electoral Commission to perform its duty. We understand that the word mandamus is confusing everybody. Once you mention mandamus, it's just a request to the court to compel a public officer to perform its duty. So in simple terms, that's how best I can explain it for your understanding. So they went there.
Yes.
The mandamus is there. Ask the EC to go and perform their lawful duty, and their lawful duty is to organize election, collate results, and declare who the winner is. So ask them to go and do, because as at the time they were going to court, those constituencies, we do not know who the winner is.
True.
The court agreed with them. Asked the EC at the time there were some outstanding police center results that have not been collated. The court said, go collate them. With respect to Tama Central, we noticed that there were 2 constituencies. Go and collate them. Ablikuma North, about 60 plus. Then when you go to Okaikwe Central, there were about 31 or so, or 41. Of course, they go and collect. So following from that, Tema Central, Charles Forson was declared winner.
Slim margin.
Yes, absolutely. Okaikwe Central, Yabuama was declared winner. When you go to Techiman South, one Mensa James and
Martin and James
absolutely was declared winner. But one that is still pending is the Ablikuma North, the Rabna Obin, and then Ekwe Free, and that one the easy crowd. So I didn't know what to do now. And so the NDC, following that ruling from the High Court, are challenging that case at the Supreme Court. Yesterday, the Supreme Court was expected to hear, but you noticed that they had issues with service. They went to the court for substituted service, which they were granted. So when you go to the court right now, on the notice board of the Supreme Court, the whole processes have been splashed over there. It's because the court allowed them to do that, just so to last for a period of 14 days, which will be deemed to have been effective. And not only the court, but other places, including WhatsApp, that the court directed. Thankfully, the parties have entered appearance. They have filed their processes. And the NDC had issues with the processes filed by the EC. They say that the EC made some interesting points that they want to respond to. So yesterday, the court attention was drawn to a motion for leave to be able to file some supplementary processes in all of that. So that case before the same panel that dealt with Charles Ford, NSC Akumi's matter was adjourned indefinitely. But I've been speaking to Gideon Abuchi, a member of the legal team of the NDC. What exactly is contained in the EC's work that you want to respond to?
If you look at the EC statement of case, they have made some legal arguments there that has to do with the EC having implied powers to do a few things. Those are things that we disagree with, and we need to respond to them on paper. So that is the essence of our application for extension of time to respond to those things.
How key are those issues to your the determination of your case?
They are very key. They are very key, and that's all I can say for now.
So Abuchi there, he says the issues are very key.
Yeah, very key. So they don't want to let it go. So they want to respond to that and all of that. But one person who was sort of affected in this whole disputed parliamentary seat issues is Rabna Obin. Yesterday, I had a brief engagement with her. One thing I asked her was, how is this one impeding on your political career? And she said, oh, it is life. It's something that we have decided to do. So we wait patiently for the outcome of what will happen in court and all of that. Let's hear from Rabna Obin.
It's rather unfortunate that the EC hasn't said anything so far. Very disappointing considering that they are an institution or a body that's supposed to give leadership or give direction. But the issue is in court too, so I think we should allow the court processes to take its course, and then we'll see the outcomes.
How is this one impeding on your political career?
Well, I think it's life, and all of these things come with it. You can't really predict tomorrow, but I know it will end well. These are some of the challenges. I mean, politically or not, you do get challenges or setbacks along the way, so it's fine. I'm fine. Thankfully, I have, beautiful support from the constituency, family, friends, and so we are fine.
She says they are fine. We hope that they are really fine, and then they'll be fine after we get to a proper verdict after all this is said and done.
Somebody said, sometimes when you find yourself in situations like this and you know who really stay with you, and yesterday in court you noticed that a couple of people came around. For those who watched on TV, saw a few people who were in support. Baba Sadiq was there, Christopher Bayre was also there. The only person who was absent from the NDC side is the Tema Central Bright Ibi Bright. Ibi Bright was absent yesterday, and we can all know, try to understand why she was. I know she was at the time that in January she was heavily pregnant, and I'm sure that is one of the issues that restricted her movement in court yesterday. But she was fairly represented. But from the MPP side, virtually all of them were represented by people who they assigned to come to court. So this case was adjourned sine die to allow the NDC side to be able to put their house in order and respond to the EC's statement of claim that, or case that they have put before the court. So these were some of the things that took place yesterday.
Okay. Now, after hearing all that has happened, we're looking forward to what is ahead. Talk to
Yes. So today, today, Justice Mary Mami Ikwe-Yenzu is to make a findings as to whether there's a case for just James Jachikwesin to answer or not after prosecution had closed its case. So what the court is going to do is to look at the evidence, the testimonies of all the prosecution witnesses, and determine whether, on the face of it, because now it's only one side of the story, on the face of the charges that have been put before the court and the evidence that has been adduced by the state. If there's anything that warrants that James Jachikwesin be called upon to respond to, if the court thinks that there's something, there are some questions that the court would want answers from, he will be called upon to answer. But if the court thinks that, look, we've looked at it, and on the face of the evidence produced or adduced by prosecution, there's nothing that warrants James Jachikwesin to be called upon, then he's a free man.
Okay.
So today, that is what is expected to happen. So one of these two, open your defense or go home. is to happen.
It's to happen.
Yes, but if you are in the stead of James Jachikwesi,
Go home
your
is
hope
nice.
will be will go home.
Who doesn't like to go home?
So today, that will feature, and of course, the customer's friend, Nana Appiah Mensah, men's good.
Nam1.
Is back in court.
That's right.
And the last court sitting, it was adjourned because Nam1 still has some processes at the Court of Appeal. One, he's seeking a stay of proceeding because he wants to challenge the High Court order for him to open his defense and respond to the charges after the court held that prosecution has made a case for him to answer. He said no. Prosecution had made no case for me to answer. Let me go. If you are not allowing me to go, stay proceeding. I'm going to your senior brothers or say your seniors at the Court of Appeal. And so wait and let me go and come. The court said no. Go ahead and open your defense. Today, the court is expected to be briefed. The court said, okay, once you have decided to go to my seniors, go and come. Whatever feedback you get, bring it. So today we are hoping that that feedback from the Court of Appeal will come to the High Court as what the High Court should do, whether you stay proceedings now or the High Court can continue. Then the court will take it out from there. So today, Nam1 and of course the men's goods customers, the aggrieved ones, certainly will be in court today. So these are some of the cases that we do expect to happen today.
It looks like a really packed day.
Yeah, it is.
And definitely we would also be waiting patiently to get to know the outcome of these matters as they turn up in court today. But Mutala, thank you so much.
Thank you, Joshua.
Mutala Inusa there, bringing us court today on the Morning Star.